if it ain't positioned correctly and he slips up, 50 can get him.
Okay, Nadeska, let me drag you into this because you're doing a real good job of being neutral.
You notice how I didn't say nothing in the group chat? What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to the Rap Life Review. I am Nadeska. Ebro is out this week, so I'm going to hold it down with my guys, Lowkey and Eddie. Of course, you can catch us here every week. We're going to take a look at some of the best hip-hop label CEOs.
Yes.
New De La Soul Gangsta Grill's mixtape is coming. But first, some albums that you can check out on Apple Music. New project from EST Gee. Plus, Eladio just dropped an amazing project. Some crazy features on there. Lowkey, why is the iPad so far away from you? I just asked for your support.
Some of the features my man has is Wayne, Future, Bad Bunny, Quavo, 50 Cent, Fabio Foreign, Lil TJ, just to name a few. There's a lot of artists that are out right now that can't get half of that list. So kudos to my guy for securing such a big feature bag.
Yeah, super impressive. And Ebro actually sat down for an interview with him recently. Let's take a look.
So like when I was in the first grade, like my first CD was like my first physical CD was The Firm. And like I just remember like just falling in love with the flows and like how they spit, how they sound, how aggressive they were. And then like I'm a big Eminem fan. Like I know every Eminem CD, including the skits, like by heart. So like I learned a bit from like Wayne, like 50 showed me like how important it was when you spit to be sure about what you're saying, like to like that confidence, exactly.
All right, so that project is now in the top 10 on the Apple Music album charts. Go check that out. What we do want to talk about here, though, is we got a new single from Usher. So it's been 3 years since we heard some music for him. He's back with a new record called Glue. What'd you guys think about this song?
I heard it was written by Sean Garrett, produced by Lil Jon, to my knowledge. 3 years since we've heard from Usher. You know, he did the Tiny Desk, which set the internet on fire, and he's killing his Vegas residency. He's dropped a couple snippets on Twitch or Twitter or Instagram with him and Jermaine Dupri in the studio. So clearly Usher is getting back into the mode of creating and being at the, you know, front door of superstardom. So hopefully this is the introduction to a new phase of R&B from Usher. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm in love. It's just sexy. It was under the radar. A lot of people didn't really know it came out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, on first listen, it would be hard to know it was Usher. It's like we've been listening to this man for 20 years.
Right.
When I played it for the first time, I would have never guessed. But it's cool. I think reinventing yourself at this point in the game, that's not easy. Eddie, you like the song?
Listen, man, y'all don't realize what Usher's in. Usher's in that y'all must have forgot phase of his career. Because let's be clear. Usher's last few projects was kind of cold, but guess what? If you've been around for 30-something years, eventually you get cold. That doesn't discredit anything you've done in your past or in your career. Usher is one of those guys. But what happened was he did that Tiny Desk. And everyone was like, "Oh man, they don't really make them like this no more. Like, look at the breath control, look at the singing, look at the charisma. Oh my God, Usher, he's still so handsome at 40-something years old."
You added that last part.
Yeah. That. What'd you say? Say it again.
Okay.
You say he's so what?
You've been admiring how handsome he is still?
That's what the people were saying.
Okay.
Listen, I'm just a conduit.
I thought you said that.
I'm a conduit. Listen, bro, Usher's a handsome man. What I got to be insecure about it? Usher's a very handsome dude. I'll say I said it.
We just asked.
F what everybody say. I say Usher's handsome. So look, then Usher did the Vegas residency. Guess who was at the Vegas residency? I didn't even say that right. Me, I was there. I seen Usher on skates.
Oh, word?
I seen Usher bring out, Keith Sweat came out. Teddy Riley came out. So then he's like, you know what? I'm going to drop a new single, but I'm not even going to sing like Usher. I'm going to falsetto y'all asses to the point where y'all, because now Usher, he's just doing side missions now. He's like, I got the game. I already did this. I'm super rich. I'm a family man now. I'm roller skating in concerts. I'm singing in falsetto. Remember, like, because he had a single with Lil Jon a few years ago that no one was really rocking with like that.
Yeah, Sex Beat.
Yup. He's like, you know what? I'm going to bring Lil Jon out again. I'm going to bring Sean Garrett. I'm just out here doing my thing. And I respect Usher for that.
Why do we ever do this show without Eddie? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, my
man.
God.
It's good. It's good.
It's great energy. I love it. It's great energy.
Go check out this new Usher single, Glue, that's streaming right now on Apple Music. Next up, you mentioned Jermaine Dupri recently, right? A few minutes ago?
Yes.
So we did talk about the 50 greatest rappers of all time. I feel like that was a few episodes of us going back and forth. But Birdman apparently felt when they dropped that list, they should have also acknowledged the CEOs who ran the labels and supported those artists. But maybe that should have been a separate list. But Earn Your Leisure, amazing podcast. If you guys have never checked that out, I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
They just did a list ranking the top 10 hip hop label CEOs of all time. So this was their list. They had Birdman at number 1, followed by Diddy, Jay, Dre, Russell, Master P, L.A. Reid, Dame Dash, Jermaine Dupri, and Suge Knight. Was that 10? That seemed like a lot more than 10.
No, that was, I think it was 10.
Some of the honorable mentions were Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, Coach KMP, and DNY. But Birdman actually saw this list. I guess he was looking out for this. Responded in Instagram saying P from QC should have actually been number 2 on the list. What do you guys think about that?
P from QC should have been number 2?
Nah. You know why? His story's not done being written yet. Like, we're still in the prime of that. Like, everybody you said on that.
Like, he already cashed out. So it's like.
He did cash out. But in saying that. It doesn't
negate what he's done. Like the generation now that they look at in regards to, like, you know, Lil Baby, City Girls, Migos, Lil Yachty, you know, Cardi. The list goes on and on. But it's just like.
Was Top Dog on there?
Nah, Top Dog wasn't on there.
Yeah, no.
Top Dog needs to be on there. It's like what that story, like every CEO that we have on that list.
These are all legacy.
Their story's
CEOs.
pretty much done. Their
Yeah,
stories
for
are
the-
like
for the-
not
for
over,
the
but
most
like
part.
they already solidified.
Yeah.
The legacy's already planted. The artists and the labels have already been lifted up and just as legacy acts. Like Q from PC, like he's not there yet.
Do you feel like we need to see actually more from him? Put
Yes.
more big artists for it, or is
Yes.
it just a time thing? Should we have this conversation?
Like accolades, concerts, turmoil. Like when you're a CEO, it's not just the good shit. It's the things that you can outlast. Irv outlasted so much. Diddy outlasted so much. Puff Dame outlasted so much. DNY, all these guys, Birdman, fucking Master P, they all outlasted, but then still stood up.
They solidified. Look,
I'm
but
not
here's
saying
my
they
thing.
not,
First of all,
but number
no.
2 is not.
Listen, I agree with you. Here's my comp. I love sports. Low loves sports, right? So everybody you named that isn't QC, and I don't know why Top Dog ain't in there, but that's a whole different conversation. Like, just to agree with everything Low said, they're all legacy labels. But it's somebody like Giannis, right? We know what Giannis is. He's a top 20 player right now, but his story's not done. Like Giannis, when it's all said and done and he retires, he could be a top 5 player, but he's not there yet. So to say QC should be number 2, first of all, support your people. Shout out to Birdman. That you're supposed to say stuff like that, but if we're going to be honest about it, they're on a trajectory where, like, yeah, possibly they could be number 2. And you know what? If it happens, I would love to see it in my lifetime. They're just currently
not there
yet.
Okay.
But hey, they're Giannis. They some MVPs. They're some beasts. They got some rings. They're gonna get the jerseys in the rafters. Yeah. They gonna do that.
All right. Well, shout out to Earn Your Leisure though for putting this list together. I mean, Birdman's right. The CEOs definitely deserve some love.
Of course,
like they gave us,
of course.
you know, amazing cultural moments.
Yeah.
So you could check out the full list on their podcast. Briefly, a couple days ago, there was a video that went viral. So young Ma was at her barbershop. She got a cut, and her barber posted a video, and fans started getting worried because she sounded a little bit incoherent. And then, you know, the internet misses nothing. They love to investigate. They did the zoom in and thought her eyes were a little bit yellow tinted. And I think people were concerned because in the past, she's been open about having issues with addiction and with her help. But eventually she did address this in a statement. She says, as many of my supporters know, I've been dealing with various personal health issues the last few years. She said she was in the hospital recently, actually being treated. She's doing better now. It's going to take time to fully recover, but she's looking forward towards the future. Were you worried when you saw this video, Lo?
The instant reaction I try to withdraw from because it's like, one, you don't know how old or recent that video was. 2, if you're paying attention to Young M.A., if you're paying attention to her narrative, you know, like you just said, you know she's been battling health issues and personal addiction issues. So I reserve any kind of comment that I would have when seeing the video and wait for a comment like that. Like, y'all know, I've been going through stuff. I'm going to put it out in the music. I'm on the road to recovery. The documentary's coming out. So when that time comes, then we can, let's reserve judgment until we see the entire puzzle. All we have is a piece right now. And I think people are very just judgmental, very, rude, and just looking for jokes and looking for laughter and looking for clicks. And I think that, before you criticize someone else's home, make sure your room is clean first.
We got to do better. And it's one thing to have genuine concern, but are you concerned or are you just putting things on the internet and online and spreading negative imagery of somebody? And I thought we were going to get better after what we saw what happened with Chadwick Boseman. because we didn't know what he was dealing with. And he obviously had lost some weight. Look what he was going through, but none of us knew. That wasn't our information. That wasn't for us to know. We shouldn't have knew. So when he passed, there was this like, damn, like looking back at it, like did we treat him the best we could? So I know for me personally, when I see stuff like this, I don't know what someone's dealing with. I don't know what their inner demons might be. But after that Chadwick Boseman passing, I started viewing videos, content, pictures a little bit different because I'll just step back because you just don't know. And we all need to start doing better with situations like that.
Absolutely. You're right. Wishing her well. I'm also a fan of Young M.A. I think she's a great rapper, and I think like her energy is needed in this game. So hopefully, you know, we get that documentary. She's feeling better, and we get new music soon. Mm-hmm. But you know what? New music is really on the way. So a few weeks ago here at Apple Music, we celebrated De La Day after, you know, a long, drawn-out legal battle. De La Soul was finally able to release their entire catalog on Apple Music. Super, super dope. And now it seems like there's going to be a De La Soul Gangsta Grills mixtape coming. So apparently this happened maybe a couple years ago. There was a De La Soul Instagram Live, and Drama hopped in the comments saying we should do a De La Gangsta Grills. And he confirmed on the Rap Radar podcast that this is really happening. Excited?
You know, given everything that De La's been through, you know, the legal battle, the catalog actually being available, you know, the untimely death. It's music is the sole, you know, component to everything, you know, to celebrate. So what better way to celebrate than with one of the best voices in hip hop, you know, and Drama has been on a tear for the last 2 years, you know, mixing audiences. You know, Tyler, the Creator, is not, that audience doesn't understand what a Gangsta Grills is. You know, Gangsta Grills audience may not understand how important De La Soul is. So now we're crossing paths, we're mixing legacies, and who better to do it than, you know, the voice of hip hop? So shouts to Drama for tapping into them. You know, exposing them to the kids.
They know that they missed so much of the streaming era, so there's a whole generation of fans who missed out on De La music. And also people like me, you know, who like heard the first couple albums, but then I didn't have access to the full catalog. So I think to Lo's point, this is like amazing to like keep that moment going. I'm sure you're going to be locked in. Are you a De La fan? I don't think I've ever spoken to you about De La.
So I got a similar experience as you with De La Soul. Like, I was so young when their music was initially dropping that I didn't have any physical copies. So there wasn't an opportunity. Like, I heard it because it was on the radio and you would get like here and there. So I didn't get to actually dive into De La Soul's music until it was on streaming. Like everybody else, I was discovering when all of it dropped a few weeks ago. And it's weird because I'm not young, but that's how long it was until their music was accessible for a lot of people, that even people from older generations didn't get an opportunity. Like, if I didn't have an older cousin or brother or whatever around to hand me De La Soul records, I just didn't have them. And I'm glad that Lo touched on that point, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this is kind of an untraditional Gangsta Grills album. And the first thing I thought was Tyler. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So he has gone down that route before. You know, that's Lowkey's forte, is those mixtapes and joints. So I think it's beautiful.
Looking forward to it. Drama. Come to Rap Life Review. I feel like he's someone we need to have as a guest soon.
Yeah.
All right, and now to the drama. A few days ago, someone tweeted, rappers that 50 Cent can't beat in the verses: Lil Wayne, Future, Kanye, and Drake. So Lo jumped into the conversation, said 50 might give Future a problem, and things went off the rails. I mean, a lot of people were engaged, but you guys were also going back and forth a lot about 50 versus Wayne specifically.
Look, man. Someone here is not here to defend themselves,
Ebro.
but we just gonna call a spade a spade.
Right.
So Ebro gets in the chat, and his quote: 50 would wash Wayne. Ebro said it. Now Ebro's gonna have to defend himself. I seen that, and I was like, what? In what world? Okay, and let me not knock Curtis Jackson for a minute. Shout out to Curtis. Shout out to everything you're doing over there in the Stars Gangsta.
Okay, enough with the disclaimer. Let's get to
the
shit. I mean, Ebro,
yeah.
mind you, is on vacation. We know this man works hard. He actually took some time off, but he took time out of his vacation to argue with y'all. It was like 3 against 1. Because one of our producers was also in the chat, but he was like deeply passionate about this, that Wayne just wouldn't stand a chance.
I'm not even here to say 50 could beat Lil Wayne, but to say that 50 would wash Lil Wayne in no dimension, in no world, Just no, that would not happen. And here's what I will say about 50 Cent. 50 Cent, his hot, right, is probably hotter than anyone I saw in hip hop history, bro. When In the Club dropped and Get Rich or Die Trying came out, it was like, to this day, I've never seen someone come out as hot as 50 Cent came. 50 Cent's hot, though, was for like a pretty short time. And 50 Cent burnt a lot of bridges. He wasn't on a lot of features. It was all G-Unit. It was all in-house for the most part. There were people he did. Wayne has been around since 1998, basically. He just performed at the Grammys on a song we had a whole discussion about when that dropped. You know what I'm saying? He performed that. Wayne features alone, bro.
So this is all the energy in the. Imagine this for 2 hours. I don't even know if you guys actually got into 50 versus Future. Did you?
No, because they were yelling at it the whole time. So like I put my phone down and I was just like, fuck it. Like it's just, I'm gonna say something. And I'm gonna stand on it. Wayne don't have a Get Rich or Die Trying.
Nah, he don't.
If we're talking about a versus battle, right? We're not talking about what we like. We're not talking about what we grew up on. We're not talking about what we listen to. We're in the kitchen cooking or driving down whatever highway in LA that you drive down. We're talking about in a crowd.
See, there you go. Remember I said the petty shit? That's when it gets petty. Continue.
Who you talking to? We're talking about 50 Cent. This man is a mainstream monster. Wayne is a cultural mainstream monster. But when we talk about these hits, when we talk about these bodies of work, when we talk about like these smashes, I ain't saying 50 gonna wash Wayne, but if Wayne is not sequenced right and it's not positioned correctly, that could be a very long fucking night for Dwayne Carter. No disrespect to Wayne. And I'm not agreeing with Ebro when he said, "Oh, okay, 50's gonna wash him." But if it ain't positioned correctly and he slips up, 50 can get him.
Okay, Nadeska, let me drag you into this because you're doing a real good job of being neutral.
You notice how I didn't say nothing in the group chat?
Listen, guys, listen. Let's comment. Just comment. I want to see what y'all. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Comment and say where you're from too. Because I'm curious.
You're going to say this is like a New York thing?
I think y'all might be New York biased.
Okay.
No, hey, like, just my personal opinion. And 50's a monster.
Drop us a comment below. Curious. I don't know why Eddie wants to know where you're from. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
The regional ear also has a very, very, impactful thing with the comments.
Man, this is why these arguments could go on until the end of time, and this is why I don't jump into the group chat, because I'm not trying to be beefing with y'all for like 2 weeks over this. There's no point. But we want to hear what you actually think about this. So drop us a comment, subscribe. You'll never miss an episode. You could also check out Ebro every week on Rap Life, the radio show. For me, Nadeska, and my guys Lowkey and Eddie, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week, maybe, on the Rap Life Review. Hope you enjoyed that episode of the Rap Life Review. I'm Nadeska, and you can catch me here every single week with Lowkey and Ebro. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing, give us a like, and drop a comment so we can hit you back next week.